Have you ever felt nervous and you didn't know what to say in English?
Your heart beats fast, your hands feel cold, and your brain just stops.
You want to speak, but the words are gone.
This is English conversation practice for beginners.
Welcome. You're watching Easy English Podcast.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. And today we are talking about something very real.
Very real, because this happens to everyone, not just beginners.
Even advanced English speakers feel nervous sometimes.
Even native speakers. I get nervous before important conversations.
Really? You seem so relaxed all the time.
I practice. That's the secret.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to practice what to say when you feel nervous in English.
Because when you have the right words ready, nervousness gets smaller.
Much smaller. So let's start. Mike, why do you think people feel nervous speaking English?
I think the biggest reason is they're scared of judgment. What will people think?
Yes. Will they laugh at me? Will they think I'm stupid?
But here's the truth. Most people are kind. They're not waiting for you to make a mistake.
They just want to understand you, that's all.
So the pressure you feel, a lot of it comes from inside, not from other people.
And today, we're going to give you tools, phrases, sentences, so you always have something to say.
Even when you're nervous, even when your brain feels empty.
Okay, first situation. You're in a conversation, someone asks you something, and you need a moment to think.
This is so common. You need a few seconds, but you don't want to just stand there in silence.
So what do you say? You can say, "Let me think for a second."
Or, that's a good question.
Oh, that one is great. That's a good question. It buys you time, and it sounds very natural.
Native speakers say it all the time, even when they know the answer immediately.
You can also say, "One moment, please."
Or, give me a second.
Short, simple, and completely acceptable.
Nobody expects you to answer in 1 second. It's okay to think.
Let's try it. Mike, ask me something.
Sure. What do you like to do on weekends?
That's a good question. Let me think for a second. I think I like walking and maybe watching movies.
See, the pause felt natural. It didn't feel awkward.
Because I filled it with words, I didn't just go silent.
Exactly. Filling the pause is the key.
Viewers, let's practice. Say, "Let me think for a second."
That's a good question.
Give me a second.
1 moment, please.
Say them slowly first, then a little faster.
Good. Keep those ready. You'll need them more than you think.
Okay, third situation. You're nervous and you want to be honest about it. What do you say?
Oh, this is interesting. Can you just tell someone you're nervous?
Yes, and it actually helps.
Really?
Really. When you say, "I'm a little nervous," people become more patient, more kind.
That makes sense. They understand. They want to help.
You can say, "Sorry, I'm a little nervous."
Or, please be patient with me. My English is not perfect.
Or, "I'm still learning. Thank you for understanding."
These phrases are so powerful. They're honest, and people respect honesty.
And when people know you're learning, they slow down. They use simpler words.
They meet you where you are.
Exactly. You can also say, "English is not my first language. I'll do my best."
That one is great for more formal situations, like a job interview or a meeting.
It sets the right expectation, and it removes the pressure.
From you and from them.
Let's practice those. Say, "Sorry, I'm a little nervous."
Please be patient with me.
"I'm still learning. Thank you for understanding."
English is not my first language. I'll do my best.
Say them with confidence. Even the word nervous, say it confidently.
Yes, be confident about being nervous. That's a skill.
It really is. Okay, third situation. You're talking, and suddenly you forget a word right in the middle of a sentence.
Oh, this is the worst feeling.
It happens to everyone. You know the idea, but the word disappears.
And you just stand there going, you know.
Yes. So what do you do?
You describe it. You talk around it.
Exactly. You can say, "It's the thing you use to..."
Or it's like but smaller.
Or, "What's the word? I mean the thing that..."
These are called descriptions, and they work really well.
For example, you forget the word umbrella. You can say, it's the thing you use when it rains. You hold it over your head.
And immediately the person says, "Oh, an umbrella."
And now you have the word, and the conversation continues.
Beautiful. No stopping, no embarrassment.
You can also just say, sorry, I forgot the word in English.
That's fine too. Very honest, very clear.
And people are happy to help. They'll give you the word.
Let's practice describing things. I'll forget a word and you help me.
Okay.
Okay, it's the thing you write with it. It's small, usually blue or black.
A pen?
Yes, a pen. Thank you.
See how easy that was?
So easy and natural. Nobody was confused.
Viewers, practice with us. Say, it's a thing you use to...
What's the word? The thing that...
Sorry, I forgot the word in English.
It's like but smaller.
Keep these in your back pocket. They save conversations.
Every single time.
Okay, fourth situation. This is a big one. You're in a group conversation. Everyone is talking, fast, and you want to say something, but you don't know how to start.
Oh, yes. Group conversations are the hardest for nervous speakers.
Because everyone is talking, and you're waiting for the right moment, and it never comes.
So, you say nothing, and then you feel bad.
So, what do? You use an entry phrase, a phrase that gets you into the conversation.
Like, can I say something?
Or, I think, and then you just start talking.
Or, oh, I know, I have an idea.
You can also say, sorry to jump in, but...
Jump in means to enter the conversation, even if people are still talking.
It's polite, it's natural, and people stop and listen.
You can also just say, actually, and then your point.
Actually is a great word to start a sentence with. It signals, I have something to add.
Let's do a group conversation. I'll be 2 people, you be 1.
Okay.
So, I think the best food is pizza. Definitely pizza.
Sorry to jump in, but I think pasta is better.
Oh, really? Why?
Because it's more variety. You can do more with it, more variety.
That's a good point, actually.
See, I jumped in. I said my opinion. Short sentences. Not perfect, but clear.
And the conversation kept going.
That's all that matters.
Let's practice the entry phrases. Say, can I say something?
Sorry to jump in, but...
I think...
Actually...
Oh, I know.
Use any of these and you're in the conversation.
Just like that.
Okay, now let's put it all together. A full practice round. All the nervous phrases together.
Ready, viewers? Say these with us, out loud.
Let me think for a second.
That's a good question.
Give me a second.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
Please be patient with me.
I'm still learning. Thank you for understanding.
English is not my first language. I'll do my best.
Sorry, I forgot the word in English.
It's a thing you use to...
Sorry to jump in, but...
Can I say something?
Actually...
Say all of those one more time if you need to. Practice makes them automatic.
And when they're automatic, nervousness has less power over you.
Because you always have something to say.
Always. Okay, your turn. Comment below.
Tell us, which situation makes you most nervous in English? Is it meeting new people, group conversations, forgetting words?
Write it below. And if you can, use one of today's phrases in your comment.
For example, I'm still learning, but I try my best. Write something like that.
We want to see your practice, and we will reply.
We really do read everything. You are not talking to nobody.
Talking to nobody. I like that. But yes, we are here. We see you.
Okay, final thoughts. Mike, what do you want to say to someone who feels very nervous about English?
I want to say, nervousness means you care. It means English matters to you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And anything that matters to you is worth fighting through the fear for.
So the nervousness is not your enemy, it's proof that you're trying.
Exactly. And every time you speak, even nervously, you get a little stronger.
A little braver, a little better.
The nervous feeling gets smaller. Your English gets bigger.
We are so proud of everyone watching this. You came here to practice, and you did.
That took courage, and we don't take that lightly.
Keep going. Keep speaking. even when it's hard, especially when it's hard.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now. You are doing amazing.
Take care, everyone. We believe in you.